Good morning, Facebook family, and welcome to another edition of the 10,000 Club. Today, we are together with Mary Scalzitti and Marissa Harrington, and we are going to be talking about all things social media, which is honestly where a lot of people spend their time. So why not try to capitalize on meeting folks where they're already sitting and watching? It's why we spend a lot of money on Super Bowl ads every year, right? Because they know we're going to capitalize a lot of people's attention in this short amount of time. So why not figure out how we can use our social media to our benefit as real estate professionals? So Marissa, I bet you use social media a little bit.
Just a tad. I was talking to an agent yesterday, just in a coaching session, and just talking about the journey of me using social media for keeping in touch with my sphere, as well as using it as a tool to keep in touch with past clients. And it has grown over the past 7 years to something that I couldn't even have imagined it to be when we originally started. But I have definitely seen the value in using social media and beefing up social media and your social media presence, both personal and business, to get those leads coming in.
Yeah. So yeah, really, it's about your comfort zone. Like we all can get in our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is going to look differently for one person than another. But I think growth happens when we're willing to step out of our comfort zone and do something different. So Mary, I just know you have a couple of ideas about what that could look like. And, like what really should someone be doing? What are the touch points? Where are the places? How often? And so I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. So I do think that one of the most common things that agents ask me when I'm meeting with an agent to talk marketing plan is, oh, what should I do for social media? Or I'm posting sometimes, or I'm not good at this. What should I be doing? And so, I think first and foremost, we have to set realistic expectations for what social media is going to bring to the table. I never want someone to spend so many hours per week dedicating their time to posting on social media when you could accomplish the same type of results by doing it at the right times, the right frequency, and then be freeing up your time to be doing other marketing efforts. So first and foremost, as I said, Facebook and posting on, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, that alone is not enough to bring you business.
It's not really. So if I just put it there, it just doesn't magically come to me. Okay. All right. Let me write that down.
Unfortunately, you have to be doing other things as well. So when you're putting a marketing plan in place, yes, social media can be one of the components, but it's not everything. So making sure that, post on social media, and we'll talk about where and when and how often, but do that as well as make your phone calls, as well as have an email going, as well as do a physical mail, as well as reaching out to your sphere. This is just one of the arms that makes this octopus swim. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So social media is important, but it's not everything, and you can't be doing just social media. You have to be doing other things too. With that being said, I did some digging because I feel like social media, it's ever evolving. There's new platforms coming out all the time. And it's kind of like, okay, well, where do we stand now? Like the pandemic definitely shifted the way things, were, with more people working remotely, more people spending time on social media to connect, all of that stuff. So I have heard even someone saying like, oh, Facebook, I don't want to be on Facebook. I want to be on, should I do TikTok? Should I do Snapchat? Like Facebook is so over. Well, here's the truth of it. Facebook is not over. Facebook for 2021 and 2020, 2021, and into 2022 is still the #1 social media site in the world. It has 2.7 billion monthly active users. 2.7 billion. Okay. Yep. It is so far into #1. #2 can't even touch it. And #2 is not even Instagram, it's YouTube. So it's Facebook, YouTube, and then we're dropping down into Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, TikTok, and we're going from there. But Facebook is still number one. It has been number one for years. It's still number one. So don't let people tell you that nobody's on Facebook anymore and they're not using it, because that's not true.
Wow, that's really interesting. I had never heard the power of, I really had never considered the power of YouTube. And I know that my kids, who are adults now, but they probably spend more time on YouTube than any social media platform. So they kind of fit into that statistic there. And I hadn't even considered that. Yeah.
Another thing too is, the question of like, well, if people are on Facebook, who's on Facebook? And if people are on TikTok, well, who's on TikTok? And I think determining what platform you're going to be spending time posting on, you should first start saying, who is your target audience? Who are you trying to reach, right? Because there's a different type of people or different age range demographic of people that are on Facebook that are spending their time on TikTok, that are spending their time on Snapchat. And so I dug into that a little bit further too, because I wanted to have some actual numbers here. And so all the stats I pulled and all the reports I pulled from the last 2 years are from like Pew or Statista, all these good things. So they're actually, supposed to be accurate.
Reliable.
But it does say that the average age range for Snapchat and TikTok is 18 to 29. So who's your target audience, right? Like if you're like, I think I should get on TikTok. Well, is your target audience the 18 to 29 year olds? Is that who you're trying to hit? Because if it's not, if you're trying to hit somebody who's maybe not a first time home buyer, who's maybe moving on to their second home or something, then TikTok is really not where you're trying to be. I mean, they said like 71% of the people on TikTok are 18 to 29. Yeah. So that's who lives there. And that's the same with Snapchat. It's the same age range for Snapchat. But then if you look at Facebook, the number one Facebook age range is 25 to 34. And then the second one is 35 to 44. That is where people of that age, the average age is 40 on Facebook. It's not 80. It's not your grandma who's on, oh, well, yeah, my parents have an account. It's 40. That's the average age of someone on Facebook. So keep that in mind when you're determining where you're going to spend efforts posting.
Yeah.
I know that TikTok is the latest one to come out. I know that Snapchat is the latest one to come out. But there's a couple things to keep in mind. One, Snapchat stories disappear after you watch them. So you can post to like have a story of, that lives there for 24 hours. You can send it to specific people, but after they open it, it's gone. It's gone. So like, while it may have made an impression, it's like they watched it and then it's done. So it doesn't live on anywhere.
Yeah. That's an interesting statistic in itself, because how much time and energy are you going to put into producing something that you're going to have to put out there? So is it going to live there? Is it going to be in your YouTube channel? Is it going to stay on your Facebook page? Or is it just going to be in your story? What about you, Marissa? Are you using any of these platforms to do some of your social media?
That's a great question. So we have really, really leaned into Facebook because, Mary, I'm so glad that you lifted up who your target audience is. So as a team, we decided maybe about 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, I don't know, COVID time, that, our target audience is Gen X, millennials, and like the folks, I guess I'm in between that. So I'm in between Gen X and millennials. Zennials is what they call us, right? So we already decided that like that's who we're targeting. So we put in so much time and effort and energy into our Facebook page and Instagram, and partially because with Instagram you can cross post and it makes things easier. And I just recently, literally Monday, y'all, I created a TikTok for the team because we now are recognizing the fact that people are buying houses younger. So you have the generation coming up behind me that their parents, this is Gen Z, I think, their parents are gifting them money to be able to purchase property. They're buying younger, right? So we had a lot of home buyers last year that were like in that 21 to like 30 age range. And I said, okay, well, TikTok is where we need to be as well. Right. So I just created it this week. And that's funny, Mary, I didn't even know the stats, the age range for TikTok, but it just, that made sense. at the
Yeah.
time. So.
Well, good. Well, then, Mary, if we're on Facebook, if we're on TikTok, if we're on Instagram or YouTube, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of what that looks like.
Yeah. You know, the biggest thing, as with any platform, is that you have to be able to get followers. You have to be able to connect with people. And so starting a TikTok account, starting an Instagram account or on Facebook, if no one's seeing what you're posting,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Right.
So almost more important than the content is like, how are you going to get followers? Like, what's your plan to try and get people to see what you're doing? A lot of through TikTok, it's hashtags, right? Because people can search by hashtags so they can see videos with like, I was actually on there the other day because I wanted to see, I created an account. I'm not a TikToker. I'm 36. I'm not a TikToker, but I wanted to see what other people were doing. And so I created an account and I looked up hashtag Michigan, hashtag real estate, hashtag realtor, hashtag Michigan. I wanted to see what people were doing. It's not groundbreaking.
No.
Pretty simple. It's mostly based around answering questions, comedy, and it's all video. TikTok is all video. You can't post images. It's all video. But your accounts aren't private. Anyone can see. You can follow by hashtag, follow specific people, look it up. So it can be a useful tool if you have a plan in place and you know what you're going to do to build a following, right? What you're going to do to hopefully go viral and get a bunch of people following you. When it comes to Facebook, and I don't want to discount LinkedIn. I want to talk briefly about LinkedIn also because LinkedIn has made an awesome resurgence. But I do want to share quickly my screen so that I can show you. This is a very rough PDF, but I was grabbing information as I was doing some research. And so I just wanted to show quickly what I put together here. And so this is based on Pew Statista, as I mentioned, where I'm pulling my stats from. Here are the best days and times to be posting on Facebook broken down. So I do think that this would be extremely helpful to anyone who's like, well, if I'm going to post, when do I post? And, what time and what day? So you can see it's broken down here by day. It says, there's a note at the bottom I included that said the days that are closer to the weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, are the best. Sunday is a dead zone. Sunday is literally the worst, and that is across all social media platforms. I found that same line on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of the things. They said Sunday is the worst. So don't put a lot of effort behind Sunday. But here are the best days and times to post for Instagram. And I'm happy to post this in the comment section of this live stream after so that you guys can save it to reference. And then here is the Instagram data that I found. Between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., Tuesday the best day, Saturday and Sundays being the worst day. I do think that what plays into Saturday and Sunday being the worst days is that people are out busy on the weekends and doing stuff. Not a lot of people are sitting behind their desk or sitting at work and have as much time maybe to scroll through social media or be paying attention to what's being posted, because these are the days we actually get to go out and like live life outside of work for a lot of us. So I do believe that that's what plays into it. And then beneath there, I just wanted to quickly touch on, this is what determines how people see what they see in their newsfeed. So we know that even if you post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, algorithms control who sees what. Like the greater gods behind Facebook and Instagram, they're controlling what you see. So even if you say, I'm going to post 4 days a week, 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, whatever it is, unless someone has liked, commented, you've shared something of theirs, they've clicked on something you've shared, vice versa, not all of your people are going to see what you're posting. So say you're connected to 900 people, you have 900 friends on Facebook, right? A fraction of those are going to see it in their news feed based on algorithms that control it. So what's equally as important as posting is you engaging with other people's posts.
Yes, and your ability to engage with them so that you get them to buy into sharing your things, because now it goes to another level. And that's the power of Facebook, but the control is a big piece of it.
Yes. So, to do what you can to get algorithms to work in your favor, I would absolutely recommend that you take whatever amount of time you want to spend per week on social media and cut it in half and devote, 50% or less to posting, and then the other part interacting with what other people are posting.
Yep.
Right? Liking, commenting, sharing. Those things are going to, those interactions with other people are going to help determine your post appearing in their newsfeed going forward. So that's very important also, and a good note that I wanted to put out there. So as I said, I'll share that PDF in the comment section after this live stream. I'm happy to do it. And I'll probably add like a source because I don't want people to think that I just pulled these out of thin air. I actually did some hours of research in this.
Mary, can I ask you a quick question? Because you just brought up something that made me think. When I interact with people on Facebook, so I'm Tracy Johnson, the Facebooker, but then I have the Tracy Johnson team Facebook. So when I'm interacting with people, I'm interacting as me, Tracy, not Tracy Johnson team. So when I'm interacting with them, I'm never having them think about me as the realtor. I'm having them think about me as the person. What says Mary in that strategy?
Yeah. So there's a couple things, and I'm glad you brought that up. There's a couple points here. One is, man, is it sad that Facebook doesn't let anybody see what a business page is posting.
Yes.
So the reality is that we've tested this with some of our agents who we've done like videos for and whatnot, where this agent would specifically, this one agent we worked with took this awesome agent video that Dominic created for her and posted it onto her business page. And this person is connected to thousands of people through her personal page, but only some of them like her business page. As we know, that's the case. And we're sitting there and it's been an hour and it's been 2 hours and it's been 3 hours. And we're like, how do you only have 4 likes on your video? What is happening here? Right? So we dug into this and we're like, take that video down immediately. We need to relaunch this. We need to rethink this. And this was about 4 years ago. And so we did some research on this and we found that one of the ways that Facebook makes money, aside from advertising, is boosted posts, right? Yes. So on business pages, you'll post something, and then the first thing it asks you is that little button that appears that says boost post. Yeah, boost post. Question. You might as well just say like question mark boost.
Yeah, right.
No, you're gonna have to. So if you do not put money behind a post on your business page, take the 900 people that you're friends with on Facebook, on your personal page, and then 220 of them like your business page. And so you post on your business page, 4% of the 220 people that you are connected to on your business page will actually see what you've posted on your business page unless you pay to boost it.
Exactly.
So, oh my gosh. Oh God, why?
Right. Yes.
You're not getting an interaction.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. So I always tell people, post on your business page, but you have to utilize your personal page too.
Yes.
Your personal page has such a higher rate of people seeing it that it's not even close. Like we're like, take your video down off your business page. Let's redo this. And then we simultaneously relaunched it on her personal page and shared from her personal page to her business page, right? Or I don't know if we did it one way or the other. I'm not sure.
Vice versa.
Yeah. So we posted it and then it's like hundreds, thousands of people have viewed it, whatever it was. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a testament to how much control they have over these business pages and what you can see. So Tracy, to answer your question, I know that people have a business page and they have a personal page. And there's a lot of times there's some hesitation about crossing over. And it's like, I don't want to overwhelm people on my personal page with real estate. And I get that. You don't want to like taint the audience, right? You want to make them interested in what you're posting. So you have to have a mix of things. You have to keep it what I call a healthy mix. And I always say the 80-20 rule. So it's like 80% of what you're posting on should be you living your life, you with your kids, your grandkids on vacation, whatever it is. And then 20% is real estate related, right? So reminding people that you're a realtor without putting the fact that you're a realtor or like your logo in every single thing that you're posting.
Yep.
Good.
Amen
like
to all of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So platforms, tools, how often? What are you thinking? What kind of advice do you offer?
Yeah. You know, I do think that in order to maintain a consistent presence and knowing that man, people are literally posting things every second of the day, and news feeds just like, I mean, you have to be somewhat consistent. I do think that posting at least 3 times a week is probably where you need to be to make it impactful. And this is Facebook specific, right? I do think that it needs to be 3 times a week in order to be impactful. I know that that's not realistic for everyone, but that's like where I set the bar, because there are some people, there are companies, right, who literally just pay someone to be posting all day, every day. That's their job, right? That's their job. So you have to figure, like, you're competing with people who are dedicating 8 hours a day or more to posting constantly. So you're competing with all the other noise that's being posted on a newsfeed. So you need to be I want you to be intentional and authentic with your posting, but you also need to be consistent.
Right.
So setting the bar at 3 times a week, stay in those like high times for Facebook and Instagram. When it comes to LinkedIn, I do want to briefly talk about LinkedIn, because I think what I've seen from the research I did was that LinkedIn had a really big resurgence during the pandemic. A lot more people, as we know, were working from home. And so it kind of revitalized how people were utilizing LinkedIn. LinkedIn really started as a employee to like business to business connection, like, oh, I have a connection over here and I have a connection over here. But what they did to stay more relevant, to kind of compete with Facebook and Instagram, was that they opened up a place for for people to post. Right now you can post on LinkedIn, and you can comment on people's posts, and you can like very similar to that. So LinkedIn has had one of the highest growths. Facebook has stayed pretty consistent, if not gone up. And then, of course, the emergence of Snapchat and TikTok over the last few years has obviously gone up too. But LinkedIn has one of the biggest growths. So more people are using it. And what I saw in my research was that the average audience for LinkedIn is 25 to 49. So the age range of 25 to 49, which is kind of a sweet spot when you're talking about who's buying real estate. Of course, there are some people on both ends of that, outside of that spectrum. But I do think that that's a pretty healthy place where a good amount of your audience would be. And so I do think that posting on LinkedIn can be helpful. I also think utilizing, I want to mention one site, and it's Later, later.com. It is a service that you can literally create an account on Later, link it to your social media accounts, and then you can schedule out posts for the future. So essentially you can say, I want this to post on Facebook Tuesday at 2 p.m. I want this to post on Instagram Wednesday at 3 p.m. And you can go on, create an account, schedule out your posts across your platforms for the whole week if you want to. And then you don't have to worry about logging in to post something every time. In terms
Mary, is there a subscription for that? Is it like a monthly fee?
There's options. So there's a free account, which you can start with, that has basic functionality. But then if you wanted to, utilize it for you and a team member, or if you wanted to have, beyond the scope of how many platforms you can post to, it is $8 per month.
Got it.
To use Later. Yeah.
Okay.
So Later is what we used to use. Now we just kind of try and do it in real time, like internal 5-star, but we used to use Later, and it's great. It's a great service. So if you want, you're like, I have 30 minutes each week to dedicate to social media posting, and I'm going to sit down on Monday afternoon and get it scheduled for the whole week. Great way to go about doing it, right? You can do it that way. So that's Later. And then in terms of what you're posting, I know we talked about like the 80-20 rule and whatever. I do think people, though, struggle. They're like, okay, I know I need to post 3 times a week. I know that most of my audience is on Facebook. I know that most of my, whatever it is, but like, what should I be posting? Right? Like, what am I posting? I always want people, especially when they're trying to cross promote like a business as well as like a personal life, I really want to stress authenticity, right? I think we've gotten caught up, and I don't even think, I know we've gotten caught up in a culture that is filter heavy, staged, somewhat false in terms of like what they're presenting. When you are a realtor and you are in a relational business where you're going to be working with people, you're going to meet them face to face, you're going to be with them, they want to see who you are and what you're doing. They don't want an overly filtered, fake,
scripted,
and they want you. They need to see you. That's what's important. And so that's why there's been a shift in just like what they're seeing through 2021 and 2022 is one of the things about like a TikTok or LinkedIn is that they're not giving you the same filters and all these things that like Instagram is giving you. Everything isn't curated on these accounts to look exactly the same with heavy, you know, filters and all that stuff. It's more authentic. It's more real. And I think it's kind of a breath of fresh air for people who are like, oh my gosh, why is this such a staged account where everything is filmed the exact same way? And it's like, we want real. I think people want real. And so you know, what specifically you post in terms of like the words, the verbiage, that's totally up to you. Share a good article that you found somewhere, something helpful. Share a photo of you with your kids somewhere. Share a closing or a new listing you have. Share, you know, mix it up, but just be real about it and be authentic. And I think that alone is going to take you a long way than trying to stage and plan content. Because at where we've come right now, people are over that phase.
Yeah.
They're done with it.
Yeah. You know, I'll be honest, I struggle with posting anything about business on my personal page because I just, it's sometimes it's cringeworthy to me. I really need to be better at putting myself out there and sharing. This is really what I do. This is the other side of who I am. I follow a gal on Instagram. I follow a lot of people on Instagram. I've actually found that I like Instagram better than I like Facebook. For a lot of reasons. A lot of there's the political piece of that isn't on Instagram. So I like that. But her name is Jessica. She's at Magnolia Realty. So she's part of the Chip and Joanna thing. But it is a little bit crafted, I will say, because now I'm trying to think of it through a different filter. Right. But I love that what she does is she allows me to see a little bit of her life as well as her home life, as a little bit of her work life. And sometimes it might just be, a picture of her sitting at the kitchen table and the kitchen isn't clean. Okay. Things aren't perfect, right. But then you see this beautiful life that she's building and how she's mixing the two things together. And so I would encourage people to find somebody who they like, who they can see, who is doing it really well, and figure out how to make it your authentic you.
Yeah. Mary, you said post pictures of your children. My kids are money makers for me, just saying. And it's that balance that you said, that 80-20 rule, right? And I found that, Tracy, that over the years, like when I first got into business, I was like, I have to post everything about real estate on my personal page. And it's a turnoff. And engagement was low. You talked about engagement earlier. Engagement was low. And I was like, forget that, because that's not all of who I am, right? And the more that I just show my life and in all of its glory or messiness, right? The more inboxes I get from people about real estate.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is what I want to say. So we're kind of getting close on time here. So a couple of things. Number one is we've learned a lot from Mary. Mary is a rock star. Yes. She works together with a team of people, our creative people at 5 Star. If you're looking for anything that you need marketing wise at 5 Star, you want your Facebook page, your Instagram page to really just have a fresh, clean look. Give them a call. They are just a wonderful resource, whether it's you are looking for a look, a postcard, a brand, a video, any of those things. But what she's talked about today is really just how to be impactful, but have a plan. And when you have a plan, execute your plan. Yes. One of the things that we're doing at 5 Stars, we're holding a boot camp. And I wanted to finish with giving Mary a minute just to plug about that boot camp, okay?
Yes, absolutely. I have 3 quick notes that I'm going to say in under a minute. One is, Marissa's absolutely right. You will post a business thing on your personal page and you'll get 5 likes, and then you'll post an adorable picture of your daughter and you'll get 200 likes. That's what people want to see. That's what people want to see.
Right.
2 is 85% of people watch Facebook videos without sound. So make sure if you're using video that you have subtitles or closed captions turned on. That's my next point. 3rd is Emma, our wonderful marketing coordinator, is working on setting up a boot camp for us in April with a professional social media guru expert who does social media consulting for a living. So we are going to plan a boot camp. location TBD for April, to invite all of our agents to come out. Of course, we'll record it and share afterwards, but that is in the works. So it should be details coming soon.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Well, if anybody has any questions after we're done today, I think Mary's probably going to drop into the comments, those postings for Instagram and Facebook. And I'll just say thank you. Thank you for sharing just the gifts that you offer to this agent community. Thanks for all you do and the fresh look that you give our company, as well as all of our agents, because I know I'm the benefit of it. And Mary's great because what she does is she gets you on the phone and she allows you to talk, and then she just nails it. Like, okay, I think in the last 30 minutes, you said these 3 sentences that really made the most amount of sense. And this is our plan going forward. And this is how we can help you. So
it's so valuable to have. That's in-house, y'all. I'm just going to keep saying that every single time I have an opportunity. It is in-house, and that is such a blessing.
Well, good. Well, Mary, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Marissa, for your time today. And until next week, we'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.